How are you guys doing? Today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to recap yesterday's performances from Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that goes on today as we walk through each day of sports one day at a time. So, with the NFL being complete and the MLB not starting for another couple months, I'm going to start in the NBA in Detroit, where the Detroit Pistons hosted the Brooklyn Nets and were able to beat them 112-111, dropping the Nets record of versus teams below 500 to 7-11 on the season. The Detroit Pistons were able to outscore the Nets by 12 in the first quarter, and they were able to carry that momentum through the end of the game. For the Brooklyn Nets, their elite starting point guard Kyrie Irving would finish with 27 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals in 35 minutes as he shot 12 for 28 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt of the night. He led the team in scoring. Alongside him, their elite shooting guard, James Harden, would finish with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks, alongside 7 turnovers in 39 minutes, as Harden shot 8 for 14 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 7 for 7 from the line. For the Detroit Pistons, their starting shooting guard, DeLon Wright, would finish with 22 points on the night. He would score these 22 points in 37 minutes, as he also added 9 assists and 2 steals, shooting 7 for 16 from the field and 8 for 12 from the free throw line. The Detroit Pistons' leading scorer would be their starting small forward, Jeremy Grant, who finished with 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in 38 minutes, shooting 11 for 19 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the free throw line. Additionally, for the Pistons, their elite starting power forward, Blake Griffin, would finish with 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals in 31 minutes, shooting 4 for 11 from the field, 1 for 5 for 3 for the night. With this win, the Detroit Pistons are 6-18, which is still the worst record in the Eastern Conference. They are 11.5 games behind the 76ers with 24 games played. And with this loss, the Brooklyn Nets are 14-2, which is the third best record in the Eastern Conference. They are 4.5 games behind the first place 76ers, and they are 3 games behind the second place Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference. Jumping out to Miami, the Miami Heat, the reigning Eastern Conference champions, hosted and were able to beat the New York Knicks 98-96 after coming back in the fourth quarter from being down 6. They were able to pull off a 2-point win at home to get their 10th win of the season. For the New York Knicks, their leading scorer would be their starting point guard, Elfrid Payton, who finished with 18 points and 5 rebounds in 27 minutes, shooting 8 for 16 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and 1 for 1 from the free throw line. For the Miami Heat, their starting power forward, Kelly Olynyk, would finish with 20 points in 31 minutes, shooting 7 for 10 from the field and 6 for 10 from 3. Their elite starting center, Bam Adebayo out of Kentucky, would finish with 19 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 35 minutes, shooting 3 for 9 from the field and 13 for 16 from the free throw line. And the Miami Heat leading scorer would be their elite small forward out of Marquette, Jimmy Butler, who finished with 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists in 36 minutes, shooting 6 for 15 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and 13 for 15 from the foul line. With this win, the Miami Heat are 10-14, which is the 10th best record in the Eastern Conference, as they and the Knicks are 7.5 games behind the first place 76ers. And with this loss, like I said, the Knicks are 1 win and 1 loss better than them. They are 11-15 on the season. They have a slightly better win percentage, and because of that, they are holding on to the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference. Jumping out to New Orleans, the New Orleans Pelicans were able to beat the Houston Rockets at home on primetime, 130-101, after outscoring Houston by 8 in the second quarter, and definitely by outscoring them by 18 in the fourth quarter to blow the lead wide open and get a very big win at home. For the Houston Rockets, their starting shooting guard, Eric Gordon, would finish with 23 points in 34 minutes, shooting 8 for 19 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3, and 3 for 5 from the line. And their elite starting point guard, John Wall, would lead the Rockets in scoring as he finished with 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists in 34 minutes, shooting 11 for 23 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, and 1 for 6 from the free throw line. For the New Orleans Pelicans, off the bench, their shooting guard, Josh Hart, would finish with 20 points and 17 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 40 minutes, shooting 8 for 16 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3 and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Their elite starting power forward, Zion Williamson, would finish with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, as he shot 6 for 10 from the field in 21 minutes and 8 for 10 from the free throw line. And he's a Duke guy. Go Duke. And the leading scorer for the New Orleans Pelicans would be their elite small forward, Brandon Ingram from Duke, as Brandon Ingram would finish with 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in 28 minutes, shooting 9 for 13 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and he made his only free throw of the night. With this win, the New Orleans Pelicans are 11-12, which is the 10th best record in the Western Conference, as they are 8 games behind the first place Jazz. And with this loss, the Houston Rockets are 11-13, which is the 4th worst record in the Western Conference, as the Rockets are now half a game behind the Pelicans in the Western Conference. Jumping out to San Antonio, the San Antonio Spurs hosted the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors were able to beat the Spurs 114-91 after outscoring the San Antonio Spurs by 23 in the second half. And with this win, they're able to break 500 for, I believe, the first time this season. For the San Antonio Spurs, their leading scorer will come off the bench, as Rudy Gay finished with 17 points and 6 rebounds in 24 minutes, shooting 5 for 11 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. For the Golden State Warriors, their leading scorer will be their goated point guard, Stephen Curry, who finished with 32 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in 32 minutes, shooting 11 for 20 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3, and 6 for 8 from the free throw line. With this win, the Golden State Warriors are 13-12, which is the 8th best record in the Western Conference, as they are currently sitting 7 games behind the first place Utah Jazz, and they and the Nuggets are both 1 game behind the Spurs and the Trailblazers, who are both tied for 5th place. And with this loss, the San Antonio Spurs are sitting 6th in the West. Like I said, they're about 1 game ahead of the Warriors, as they are 6 games behind the Utah Jazz in total. Jumping out to Utah, speaking of the Jazz were able to beat the Boston Celtics at home 122-108 after outscoring Boston by 10 points in the third quarter, 13 in the second half. For the Boston Celtics, their leading scorer would be their starting shooting guard, Jaylen Brown, out of Cal, who finished with 33 points and 8 rebounds in 37 minutes, shooting 12 for 20 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and 6 for 8 from the free throw line. Their elite starting point guard, Kemba Walker, would finish with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists in 30 minutes, shooting 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the line. And also their elite starting small forward, Jason Tatum, out of Duke, go Duke, would finish with 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in 38 minutes, shooting 7 for 20 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 8 for 8 from the line. And for the Utah Jazz, their starting small forward, Joe Ingles, would finish with 24 points and 6 assists in 36 minutes, shooting 5 for 12 from the field, 5 for 11 from 3, and 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Their elite starting center, Rudy Gobert, would finish with 18 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in 36 minutes, shooting 8 for 9 from the field and 2 for 3 from the free throw line. And the Utah Jazz leading scorer would be their elite shooting guard, Donovan Mitchell, who finished with 36 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 blocks in 36 minutes, shooting 12 for 23 from the field, 6 for 13 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the free throw line. With this win, the Utah Jazz are 20-5. They are 1 game ahead of the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers for the first place spot in the West. And with this loss, the Boston Celtics are now 12-11, which is the 4th best record in the Eastern Conference. They are half a game behind the 3rd place Brooklyn Nets, as everything stands in the East. Jumping out to Portland for a second, the Portland Trailblazers hosted the Orlando Magic and were able to pull off a 106-97 9-point win after outscoring Orlando by 12 points in the first quarter. For the Orlando Magic, off the bench, their shooting guard Terrence Ross would finish with 22 points in 31 minutes, shooting 9 for 18 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. And the Orlando Magic leading scorer would be their starting center, Nikola Vucevic, who finished with 27 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 41 minutes, shooting 10 for 21 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3, and 5 for 9 from the free throw line. For the Portland Trailblazers, off the bench, their future Hall of Fame power forward, Carmelo Anthony, would finish with 23 points and 3 blocks in 27 minutes, shooting 7 for 16 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the free throw line. And the Portland Trailblazers leading scorer would be their elite starting point guard, Damian Lillard, who finished with 36 points 5 rebounds, shooting 34 minutes, shooting 9 for 22 from the field, 5 for 10 from 3, and a perfect 13 for 13 from the free throw line. With this win, the Portland Trailblazers are now 13-10, which is the 5th best record in the Western Conference. They are 6 games behind the Jazz in total in the West, as they are 1 game behind the 4th place Phoenix Suns. And with this loss, the Orlando Magic are currently 9-16, which is the 3rd worst record in the Eastern Conference. They are 9 full games behind the 1st place Philadelphia 76ers. And speaking of the Philadelphia 76ers, for the last game of the night, the Philadelphia 76ers went to Sacramento and were able to beat the Sacramento Kings 119-111 after going into the 4th quarter trailing. They were able to outscore the Kings by 12 in the 4th quarter after coming in trailing by 4. For the Sacramento Kings in this matchup, their starting shooting guard out of Oklahoma, Buddy Hield, would finish with 21 points and 8 rebounds in 38 minutes, shooting 7 for 20 from the field and making his only free throw attempt of the night. And their leading scorer would be their starting point guard, De'Aaron Fox, out of Kentucky, who finished with 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists in 39 minutes, shooting 13 for 30 from the field, 3 for 10 from 3, and 5 for 10 from the free throw line. And for the Philadelphia 76ers, their starting power forward, Tobias Harris, would finish with 22 points and 10 rebounds in 41 minutes, shooting 8 for 15 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Their starting shooting guard, Seth Curry, would finish with 22 points in 29 minutes, shooting 7 for 13 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Their elite point guard, Ben Simmons, would finish with 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists in 34 minutes, shooting 6 for 13 from the field and 2 for 6 from the line. And their leading scorer would be their elite starting center, Joel Embiid, who finished with 25 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 35 minutes, shooting 6 for 15 from the field and 13 for 14 from the free throw line. With this win, the Philadelphia 76ers are now 18-7, with the best record in the Eastern Conference. They are a game and a half better than the second place Milwaukee Bucks. And with this loss, the Sacramento Kings are 12-12. At 500, they have the 9th best record in the West, as they are half a game behind the Warriors and the Nuggets, who are currently tied for 7th. And overall, they are 7.5 games behind the Utah Jazz thus far, 24 games into the season for them. And those were all the games from yesterday, February 9th. We're looking forward to what's going on today in the NBA. At 7 o'clock, the Wizards are going to host the Raptors. At 7:30, the Dallas Mavericks are going to host the Atlanta Hawks. At 7:30, as it is the 2 players that were traded for one another in the 2018 draft, Luka Doncic and Trae Young, they're going to face off against one another. Both players averaging at least 26 points and at least 9 assists per game this season. At 8 o'clock, the Nets are going to host the Pacers. Also at 8, the Grizzlies are going to host the Hornets. The Timberwolves are going to host the Clippers as well. At 9 o'clock, the Bulls are going to host the Pelicans, and the Nuggets are going to host the Cavs. And then at 10 o'clock, following the Hawks Mavericks, the Suns are going to host the Bucks on ESPN as Chris Paul and Devin Booker look to take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. And then also at the same time, the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers are going to host the Oklahoma City Thunder in a rematch of a game that most recently went to overtime the last time these two teams played. So that's what the NBA is looking like as of right now. Jumping really quickly to college basketball, starting with Texas Tech, who's ranked 7th. They hosted 14th ranked West Virginia, and West Virginia was able to pull off the 11-point win after outscoring Texas Tech by 5 in the second half, led by Sean McNeil, who finished with 26 points. 14th ranked Virginia is now 14-5, as they are 7-3 in the Big 12. And with this loss, 7th ranked Texas Tech is now 14-6, as they are 6-5 in the Big 12. 11th ranked Alabama went to South Carolina, and they were able to beat the unranked Gamecocks 81-78 behind John Petty Jr.'s 20 points and 8 rebounds. With this win, 11th ranked Alabama is now 16-5, as they are 11-1 in the SEC. And with this loss, unranked South Carolina is now 5-8. They are 3-6 in the SEC. Additionally, 13th ranked Texas went to Kansas State, and they were able to beat the Wildcats 80-77 behind Andrew Jones's 22 points. With this win, 13th ranked Texas is now 12-5, as they are 6-4 in the Big 12. And with this loss, unranked Kansas State is now 5-16, as they are 1-11 in the Big 12. And last but not least, 19th ranked Creighton went to DC to face off against Georgetown, and they were able to beat the Hoyas 63-48 after outscoring Georgetown by 12 in the first half. Christian Bishop would lead the way with 17 points and 9 rebounds. With this win, 19th ranked Creighton is 15-5 as they are 11-4 in the Big East. With this loss, unranked Georgetown is 5-10 as they are 3-7 in the Big East. And looking forward to what's going on today on the 10th, 8th ranked Houston's going to face off against unranked South Florida on ESPNU at 7 o'clock. 9th ranked UVA is going to go to Atlanta to face off against Georgia Tech on ACC Network X at 7:30. 15th ranked Iowa is going to host 25th ranked Rutgers on Big Ten Network. At 8 o'clock, 16th ranked Tennessee is going to host unranked Georgia on ESPN2. At 9 o'clock, 5th ranked Villanova is going to host Marquette on FS1. And unranked Ole Miss is going to host 10th ranked Mizzou on SEC Network. And last but not least, at 9:30, unranked Nebraska is going to host 21st ranked Wisconsin. So that's what's going on with college basketball. Really quickly, jumping to what's going on in the NHL, because I'm slowly easing my way into the hockey loop, and I feel like the best way of doing so is by including it into the show. And in Calgary, the Flames were able to beat the Jets 3-2 as they would break the tie in the third period and run away with this one to get their 6th win of the season. With this win, Calgary is sitting 5th in the North Division as they are sitting 8 points from the top. The Florida Panthers are able to beat the Detroit Red Wings 2-1 as Hornquist would finish with a goal and an assist. The Panthers would get their 7th win of the season, and the Panthers are currently sitting behind the Tampa Bay Lightning by 3 points in the Central Division as everything stands. The Edmonton Oilers are able to beat the Ottawa Senators 3-2 to get their 8th win of the season. Kyra, the center for Edmonton, would finish with 2 assists on the night. Sorry if I butchered your name. With this win, the Edmonton Oilers are sitting 3rd in the North Division as they are 5 points from the top. The Tampa Bay Lightning were able to beat the Nashville Predators in Nashville 6-1, scoring 3 goals in both the first and the third periods. Sergachev, their defender, would finish with 3 assists on the night, and they were able to get their 9th win of the season. They are the only team in the Central Division with so, and because of that, they are leading the Central Division by 3. They're leading the Central Division with 19 points. That's 3 more than Florida and Chicago at the moment. Speaking of Chicago, the Blackhawks were able to beat the Dallas Stars 2-1 in overtime to get their 6th win of the season. With this win, the Chicago Blackhawks are tied with the Panthers for the second best record in the Central, as they are 3 games behind the Tampa Bay Lightning. And jumping out to Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Golden Knights were able to beat the Anaheim Ducks 5-4 in a shootout between both squads. They were able to get their 8th win of the season, and with their 8th win of the season, they are sitting at the top of the table by 1 point over the St. Louis Blues. And last but not least, the San Jose Sharks were able to beat the Los Angeles Kings 4-3 via shootout. Brown, their right winger, would finish with 2 goals and an assist from scrimmage. With this win, the San Jose Sharks are sitting 2nd from the bottom over the Los Angeles Kings, as the Sharks are 6 points behind the first place Las Vegas Golden Knights, as everything stands in the NHL. And then looking out to what's going on today, only 2 games today at 7 o'clock. The Rangers are going to host the Bruins on NBC Sports Network, and the Canadiens are going to host the Maple Leafs just on their network. And then last but not least, taking you to show you what's going on in the world of soccer following yesterday's performances, starting with the English FA Cup in, of course, England. Manchester United would end up beating West Ham United at home on a 97th minute goal from Scott McTominay, so they can advance to the next round. In the Italian Coppa Italia, Juventus would draw with Inter Milan 0-0 as they would advance to the final of the Italian Coppa Italia on aggregates because they beat Inter 2-1 the previous game. In La Liga, Real Madrid was able to beat Getafe 2-0 as one of their goals would come from their elite French striker Karim Benzema in the 60th minute. Currently looking out into La Liga, they did put pressure on Barcelona to win their next game because they are sitting 2nd in the table. They are 5th behind Atletico Madrid, even though they played 2 more games than Atletico Madrid. They are 3 points ahead of Barcelona, even though they played 1 more game, which puts the pressure on Barcelona to win their next game if they want to keep 2nd spot or at least stay in contention for La Liga. So that was a big win for Real Madrid. And then looking forward to what's going on today, because it is Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, so it's a lot of domestic cup. So first off, Manchester City is going to face off against Swansea City in Swansea at 2:30, at 12:30, and then Everton's going to host Tottenham at 3:15. In the Italian Coppa Italia, it's going to be the second leg of Atalanta versus Napoli, as there's no goals on aggregate. So the winner of this matchup will be the team that advances to face off against Juventus in the Italian Copa final. And the Spanish Copa del Rey, Barcelona is going to face off against Sevilla for the first leg of that. And the French Coupe de France, PSG is going to face off against Caen at 3:05. That's going to be a big matchup as well. And it's just mainly going to be domestic cups today because it's a Wednesday in the middle of February because that's where we are in the season. But with that said, I want to thank everyone again for listening to all 21 minutes of this piece. Today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. This is The Elite. I am James Sims, and I will get back to you with an individual profile following this. And once all of these exhibitions are finished, I will come to you tomorrow on Thursday, February 11th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. I want to thank you once again for listening to my piece, and peace out.